it's not showing in the thing. Uh, uh, okay, can you hear me now? Yes. That's some bullshit. There was no changes to my settings. It said that the microphone wasn't connected. I haven't unplugged anything. So I don't know. I mean, I'm buying a house an hour down the road to be closer to my children. But no, I can't seem to. Anyway, I can't do that. I was about to. Anyway, so on. Let me check my calendar here. I want to say. Yeah, so it was Wednesday, May 12th, 2021. So, uh, 6 days ago? 7 days ago, because today is now Tuesday, uh, May 18th, 2020, at 3:36 a.m. Central Daylight Time in the U.S. Or, uh, as I like to say, Central U.S. time. I don't use the daylight and the standard thing. I only have to do that for work, and they're all Eastern. So the other crap, it's Eastern. It's Eastern U.S. time. So whatever your vote is. Anyway, so I get woke up on the 12th. I wake up on the 12th, and you see this pin. Okay? I wake up with a bump on my hand. This bump here. but it was about the size of this. And I happened to feel it. It wasn't itching. Nothing of the sort. So I thought, alright, just another old man bump, it'll go away. And I'm watching, and I'm watching, and I'm watching. And the 12th becomes the 13th. The 13th becomes the 14th. And it's getting bigger. And the 15th is... So on the 14th, it's Friday. Make sure I get this right. Check my calendar. So the 14th was Friday. I had already made plans earlier to go with my mom and go to a couple of thrift stores. Well, we ended up making a day of it. Because I'm in the looks for an Intel Mac. It doesn't matter if it runs an early version of the Intel Mac OS, or if it runs one of the modern ones. I don't really care. I've got a Hackintosh, but I can't boot it without putting a DVD in there, and not a Mac like boot DVD. What I have to put in there is an iBoot, and there's instructions so that you don't have to do that, but I just, for some reason, when I installed what it said to install, so I'm supposed to install this iBoot in as a bootloader or something, and it just doesn't want to work. I even used a newer version of iBoot, and then it didn't boot at all. So I went back to the older version. And I have Snow Leopard on here. And it's a Lavino M28. And it's sitting here in the guest host chair, and it has been for a while. So, because I haven't had anywhere to put it, and then I've got my wife's crap over there, and my wife's computer, and her keyboard, because that's where she sits when she's here, and does her research and stuff. And she took a job and went to West Virginia. Like, we got married April 16th down in Florida, where she was living with her dad, taking care of him. And then, because of the job, she had to leave her 9-year-old child with her ex-husband. Okay, no problem. So, we were told, I can't give you too many details, but let's just say it involves the federal government, and they told her, they actually gave her this job about 2 or 3 years ago. And then with COVID, they did not send her. And then she got sick and started having respiratory problems. So they said, oh, well, maybe you don't need to go at all. Hey, that's great. Do I have a picture of my wife? Yes. I'm sure I do. If not, I can get you one. So just bear with me. I know you can see me. I can't see the screen. Oh, wow. Sorry. Oh, it says my wife is actually on Facebook, but I know better than that because of her job. She can't actually be logged in. She couldn't even take her cell phone. Okay, here we go. So that's probably why it says she's online. It says I already had a picture of Christy. Oh. Not sure what the hell it's talking about. No, I did not do that. Okay, I can't text her. I need to go home. Hit the home button, Jason Book. You should go home. That was obviously not today. reading a notice about tax refunds. Not been a good year. I still have not. I've still have not gotten mine. I got a letter stating it was going to my ex-wife because, again, I'm claiming one of our children with basically out her permission, so it's going to child support. I'm sorry. So I'll finish that here in a second. Oh, okay. Really? I can't move her. She got it. Her box was so big. She go past the screen. This right here is my wife, Christy Riley. Um, so anyway, back to the IRS thing. I'm sure you guys know who I'm talking about that I claimed. Caleb, my son, who passed away May. Move. Son of a basketball. No, 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 no. He passed away Tuesday, May 26th of 2020, and not of COVID. He got hit by a car. The lady was doing 70 to 75 miles an hour in a 30 or 35 mile an hour zone, and there was even a sign that said "Slow down, children playing area." Now, of course, Caleb, being uh, 18 at the time, was, you know, basically not a child. And he had gone to his mother's house. He and I were having issues, uh, basically up until the end of April. He was living with me, and they were cutting our hours because of COVID. So I'm working 1, 2, 3 days. So I'm applying for jobs, and I'm working at a factory, okay? And it's Marion Molding, and I loved working at Marion Molding. Don't get me wrong. But the next thing I know, a friend of mine named Brad, who's a manager at the oh, I had it on top of my Amory, Mississippi Walmart, and Brad and I used to work together. So I called Brad and I said, "Hey, Brad, he's I said I said I reached out over Messenger and I said, "Hey, Brad, I've got a son named Caleb Riley, and he's been living with me." I said, "They're cutting my hours at the plant." I said, "So I'm bringing home about $280." I said, "I've put in an application at Walmart too." And Brad said, "Yeah, I pulled yours, but he said there was um, an issue with Vicky at uh, the Winfield store. I said, okay. And he goes, let me pull Caleb's. I said, yes, because the boy had a job. I said, but they tried to say that my son Caleb lied and he wasn't, he didn't tell him his age when he got hired, but uh, unfortunately his correct age was, his correct birth date was put on the job application at the Little Caesars in Greenwood, Mississippi. So he had the job 3 weeks, got fired because they said he lied about his age on the application. So my mom immediately turned him in. Now, he couldn't file unemployment, but my mom immediately turned that in. My mother, because she had custody of Caleb, immediately turned that in to the unemployment office, or the employment office in Mississippi, the Win Jobs Service. So she turned that in, and they went and investigated it, and his correct age was there. They hired a 16-year-old in a facility where the rules are you must be over 17. And in the interview, my mom was sitting at a table a few feet down, and the lady asked Caleb, how old are you? And he said, well, I'm 16, but in about a month, I'll be 17. Oh, okay. So she went ahead, hired him, gave him a start date. Now, it's not that, because I'm not racist. My best friend Larry Pitts, he and I are brothers forever. Um, so it may sound a little off when I say this, but I think Larry can agree with what I say. So, and even Bobby Ware, don't know where you're at, Bobby. You disappeared, and I see your wife Brittany all the time posting. Well, your ex-wife, sorry, posting all the time on Facebook. But anyway, and I even comment some. You know, kid's looking great. Have you seen Bobby? No. Or, well, yeah, he's been around. But I'm not getting into Bobby's business. So, but anyway, these two African Americans, black dudes, actually, Larry once made the comment to me, Larry Pitts. He said, I'm not African American. I'm black American. And I said, what do you mean? And he goes, well, first of all, he said, the Africans, he goes, and this is, he goes, but don't worry, it's all the white people's fault. He said, the Africans are the ones that gathered the slaves up, their own people, gathered them up, and said, here, you buy these people. He said, so our own people in Africa sold us to the white man in not only the United States, but also in Europe. He goes, so I will never be African. I'm never going to be associated with a country or continent, whatever you want to call it. I'm never going to be associated with an area that gathers their own people and says, here, you take these for this amount of money. You take this group of our people. And they sold them into slavery. They sold themselves into slavery. It's hard for black Americans to accept that. But hey, that shit happens. And that's one thing that several black YouTubers that I follow was trying to explain during the election. If you're black, you really don't want to support the Democrats. because they're the ones telling you the Republicans are racist. Yep, they're so racist that when the Democratic Republicans split, Lincoln ran as a Republican with the promise to free the slaves. His opponent, and I forget his name, now, he ain't freeing the slaves. F that. It's pretty much his motto. He was a Democrat. Also, you know what's funny? And a lot of these black YouTubers, like the Conservative Twins, Officer Tatum, anyway, and I enjoy watching their programming here on YouTube. So, a lot of them have pointed out, man, my train of thought just, oh, my mind went blank. Anyway, I know I had a thought, and it was pretty good. And trying to go through the anyway. Let me get back to Caleb, and then maybe that train of thought will come back. So Caleb was the only white boy. Also, did you know that in Europe, most European countries, it is illegal to classify yourself if you're white as a Caucasian? Do you want to know why? The Caucasian mountainous area is, they almost look American Indian. That's how dark they are. They're a darker skinned people. You can't be white and be Caucasian. You might be closer to Arabic. So, but you know, this is America, and we gotta shit up. Um, so Caleb is the only white guy that works there. And like I said, after working 3 weeks, the district manager comes in and is talking to him, and he asks Caleb, he goes, well, how old are you? And he said, oh, well, I'll be 17 in like 2 weeks. What? 2 weeks? He said, boy, you can't even work here until you're 17. And that's when shit hit the fan. Because then the manager come out and said, oh, Caleb, I have to let you go. You didn't tell me your age. You told me that you were 17. And he goes, no, ma'am, I did not. And he goes, I may have bad tempers and things like that. He goes, but there's one thing I'm not. And he goes, that's a liar. And he goes, and I didn't lie to you. I told you when you hired me that I would be 17 in 5 weeks. And she said, I'm sorry, Caleb, but you did. And they escorted him from the back to the cooking area, or to the customer area. And the manager was crying, and she goes, you know what? Out of all my employees, you're the only white guy, and you're the best worker I've got. Now, not trying to say it's because Caleb was white. But, ta-da. So basically, way back, I told Brad about that. Brad's like, no problem. He goes, I got your son, man. I got his back. So, a girl named Christy, not my wife, she calls and tells Caleb, hey, I want to interview you for this job. It'll be full time, and you have, and, so, and he was like, okay. So he tells me. So I called Marion Moldy, because at the time I was on the night shift, and I called Marion Moldy and I said, hey, look, my son has this interview at 4:30 tonight in the Amory Walmart. I can't be at work at 4 o'clock this evening. He ain't got a car. I've got to take him. after my manager, who was at the plant, but also literally lived across the street from us. I was in the apartment complexes. He was in one of the houses over there. He was like, John, no problem. He goes, are you going to come in and work today at all? And I was like, oh yeah, but I've got to take him to this job interview. So as soon as it's over, I'm bringing him home. And I said I was all ready for work. But she called and said, hey, and I'm like, oh shit. He goes, no big deal. He goes, just as long as you show up. I said, okay. He goes, we might be able to work something out if you're only an hour or hour and a half or two late. And I said, well, it takes 20 minutes to get over there. Okay. I said, it takes 20 minutes to get to Amory. Oh, okay, so that's almost an hour. I said, yeah, so it'll probably be a while. And he said, okay, no problem. Well, so I took Caleb to the interview. Things looked great. Crystal, she liked Caleb. Got another funny Caleb story. And oh man, got another funny Caleb story. So she liked Caleb, and she pretty much said, I've got one more interview. Let me go back and do this interview. She said, but I will definitely call you back. Caleb said, okay, no problem. Like the next day, 2 days later, whatever. No, about 2 or 3 days later, I asked Caleb, I said, did you call Kirsty back to see about the job? No. And I said, dude, call her back. No, she'll call me if she wants me. And what he was doing was, sorry. So what he was doing was he was sitting there and he had it made. He was playing fucking video games, streaming on YouTube, Twitch. But I didn't have any money to be paying the bills, so we were about to get evicted anyway. Even though there was a stop on evictions and rent. Once that shit was cut off, once June 30th, once June 30th, 2020 hit, when that shit, because it wasn't renewed, the first care package, the freaking Democrats, along with Mitch McConnell, a Republican, that I think the man should be fired by the state of Kentucky because he does not serve the people. He's the only Republican that needs to be removed by a Democrat. I do not like Mitch McConnell. He is an asshole. And to think that Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi were trying to get money to their million and billion-dollar friends, he wasn't even reading stimulus packages. He was just assuming shit. He tried to stop the first stimulus. He tried to stop he did stop the second, because the second one said we'd get $2,000 a month and $1,000, and Trump was agreeing to this because he was still our president at the time, and $1,000 for the next year. And again, even though from the first stimulus package, Mitch McConnell got proved the fuck wrong that Democrats weren't giving their rich friends money. Mitch McConnell, I'm not reading it. Fuck you. Mitch McConnell caused Donald Trump the election, guys. If it hadn't been for Mitch McConnell, he would have won. And he about lost his election, but you know what? He begged, please, Mr. Trump, support me. Mr. Trump was thinking, President Trump was thinking, why? You're leading the Americans to pandemic hell. And then when he started to lose, he begged some more, and finally Trump had had enough, and he said, "Fine, fuck it, I support you." His ratings went up, or his all of a sudden, voters for Mitch McConnell, Republican voters, decided they were going to come out and vote. Now, I'm sorry, but if you've seen this man from January 2020 until that election in whatever month it was, I know that election was before the primary election, but if you had seen that man, so it might have been one of those pre-elections. It was either going to be Mitch McConnell for the Republicans or the other guy. Anyway, because Trump supported him, which I would have never done, period. If I was the president, I don't care. You know what? I don't care what party I'd run for, Democrat or Republican, and right now, 90% of it would be Republican. Now, there are some things that I do agree with the Democrats on, a lot of things. But there are two things that turn me off on being a Democrat. And thank you, Hillary Clinton. First of all, when she was running against Trump, about sometime pretty close to the election, my ex-wife and I were sitting down, and we were watching TV. I might have repeated this before. We were watching TV, and she made the clear assumption, or she made the comment that she supported abortion up to 3 days before the due date. 3 days. That's a human being. Did you know why they legalized abortion in America? Officer Tatum and the conservative twins have touched on this. If you notice, there are more abortion clinics in or around black neighborhoods Why? To control the black race. Oh wait, who put them there? Was it the racist Republicans that their first president, Abraham Lincoln, freed the black man from slavery? Yeah. No. Nope. Absolutely not. It wasn't. It was the Democrats. A Democratic president decided to legalize abortion and then put the abortion clinics in all the black neighborhoods. Gerald Ford. Now, let me make sure I get this right. Because Officer Tatum mentioned this one time. And I'm pretty sure that I got it right. But, you know, I'm just going to double check my facts here real quick. All right. Yeah. So I'm going to pull this website up because there's the quote. All right. And he was. Okay. So it's President Lyndon B. Johnson. Now, President Lyndon B. Johnson was president after John F. Kennedy was assassinated. And so in 1964, he gave a speech called the Great Society Speech. And Johnson was well aware that by federalizing his proposals, he was cementing the Black Alliance to the Democratic Party, who, at the time, was a big sponsor and supporter of the KKK. You know, those racist white supremacist guys that run around with white sheets, kind of like that one. Well, I mean, that's a curtain, but, you know, yeah, running around with white masks and wearing white curtains and white sheets and burning black people's houses, burning crosses in their houses, burning down their church. The Democrats. They support and they sponsor the KKK. Hell, Joe Biden was best friends with a KKK Grand Master and even gave the eulogy at his funeral. You know, but don't worry, Republicans are racist. So, you know, a funny thing is that the Black Lives Matter movement collected money for Biden and gave it to the Democratic Party. So basically, what you have here is you have black people now supporting the white supremacist group, the Ku Klux Klan, through their donations to the Democrats during the 2020 elections. Something to smile about, huh? You supported yeah. So I can't say the word, but in fact, it was reported that in an attempt to as sausage. Anyway, an attempt to strike fear, I guess you should say, in the Southern governors. He said that his plan was to, and I quote, have them voting, and I'm saying no word there, but have them blink, blink, blink. Well, have them blanks voting Democrat for the next 200 years. And guess what? Lyndon B. Johnson's plan worked masterfully. Even when there's evidence to the contrary, for example, that none of the entitlement programs introduced by the Johnson administration has actually improved the lives of blacks in the long run anywhere in America. In fact, most of Lyndon B. Johnson's, or all of Lyndon B. Johnson's programs, let me make sure I get this right. Even though Johnson's programs introduced perverse incentives against saving money, starting black businesses, black marriages, and they discouraged black fathers from being physically and emotionally present for their children, resulting in a generational welfare dependent black America. Black voters are lured to choose the dependence over liberation. So, Johnson administration successfully convinced generations black voters to believe a two-part narrative. First, none of the challenges in your life are related to any decision that you or your family has ever made. All of your problems have been imposed on you historically by others. Second, you are therefore entitled to receive money and services through government that will redeem all of your problems. In addition, an additional subplot, uh, these advances in evolving conflation of government with society. Therefore, the point is made that other institutions in society are better at caring for the indifferent needs of the poor in the long run. Progressives will always interpret that as not caring for the poor, ignoring the poor, leaving the poor to fend for themselves, and so on and so on. And anxious warnings will result. If the government doesn't provide for the poor, no one will. And you know what? This has been pointed out on black YouTube, conservative black YouTube channels that I've watched, many of them. Um, the facts speak for themselves. Up until the mid 1960s, uh, it was proven, it's been proven by study that the black man took better care of. So let me see. The black families took better care of themselves than relying on the government. The fathers were there, the mothers were there, the children were there, and the now there was some, I'm sure, discriminations in some places. Okay, so when I say this, I may be a little out of line, but most black conservative YouTubers say pretty much the same thing. The black man was paid equal to, and sometimes more than the white guy. Hey, you got a 6 foot tall black guy. He can weigh, he can lift 100 pounds. You got a 6 foot tall, uh, you got six foot tall white guy, and his maximum weight is about 75 or 80 pounds. But you need this stuff moved back and forth or whatever for 8 to 10 hours a day. Who you gonna hire? Oh, let's see. Well, let's hire both. And since it's against the law to discuss your wages, we'll give the black man more money and the white man, maybe $1 less. But if you discuss your wages, you're fired. Do you know why that was put in there? Anybody? So, it was put in there so that white people wouldn't walk off the jobs. Or because there were still racial tensions at the time, they also put stuff like that into the laws so that because of the racial tension, and I'm not saying there was never racial tension and that there aren't racist white people, racist black people, or racist Mexicans, but they didn't want you know, but at the time, okay, there was more white people working in the factory jobs. So let's say you hired your first, well, let's say your factory, you're in the 19, mid, or not mid, but you're in the late 1950s. You hire, all the segregation stuff is going on. But you decide that you're going to listen to Martin Luther King and the others that are speaking up for equal black rights. This includes white leaders and black leaders, such as Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And so you're going to, okay, well, you know what? Most of the black guys around here, you're thinking to yourself, most of them are garbage men, and they go in, day out. They pick up my garbage. I know Tony, he's putting his application here. Let me talk to him in the morning while he's putting the garbage in the garbage truck. Give him a job. So go talk to Tony. Hey Tony, how much you making an hour? Ah, shit. $6.50. $6.50, dude. You ought to be making $12 an hour. Oh man, if I made $12 an hour, I'd be rich. Yeah, why don't you come down to the factory and start tomorrow? Oh, well, Mr. Bossman, I would love to do that, but I'm not going to be like that. Okay. He said, allow me to work out the rest of the week for the county or the city, and then I'll see you first thing Monday morning. Does that sound like a deal? That sounds great. I love a man that's loyal to his job and won't just walk out on the next one. When the next one comes along. So they were making money. All of a sudden, Lyndon B. Johnson happens and things get all fucking screwed. And they say that John F. Kennedy was a great president. The equal rights movement was going on. And you know what John F. Kennedy, they said his mindset was? If we ignore it, there's equal rights now for black men, women, and children, and white women. Because they were seen as lower class by the Democrats. Oh, that's right. They were supporting the KKK. So, here's the thing. So they were lower class. So John F. Kennedy made the remark, if we ignore it, meaning the equal rights, the desegregation, if we ignore it, it will just go away. Says the Queen of England asked him one time at a ball over in Europe, because they gave their black people equal rights to the white Europeans, like from the day they abolished slavery. And then she started reading about Dr. Martin Luther King. She invited him, if I remember right, to Europe. I may be wrong about that, but I think he went over there and met her, or she came here. But, so, anyway, the thing is, she asked John F. Kennedy, what about your equal rights movement that's going on? What's really going on behind that? Are you in support of equal rights for all humans? It's in your Constitution. He said, well, no. I believe if I ignore the desegregation and the black movement, the equal right movement, eventually it'll lose ground and it'll go away. If there aren't any problems, or they cause problems, he said that's why we have the biggest military in the world. He said that to the Queen of England. maybe not quite that way, but he threatened to use military action against Americans, black Americans. Y'all support President Biden. Democrats do. So, what? So, if I was president, what do I support of the Democrats? Well, first of all, up until Donald Trump, they all had this Republicans all had this mindset of trickle down economics. Trickle down? What the hell does that mean? Let me explain. I'm the rich man, the business owner of this corporation, whether I be black, white, Mexican, American Indian, Indonesian, Asian, whatever, right? I'm the rich guy. You the poor guy. You work for me. I charge you taxes. I charge your, I'm the president. Okay. And I'm the president of the United States. All right, so we got that point, right? Republicans in the presidency. Well, because John Henry his company creates lighter, more bouncier, damn near flying basketballs. And his employees, I'm sure, play basketball. Then we'll charge John Henry, I think let's just throw out a number, 23% in taxes. Good. Okay. That's good, I guess. They're making some money. The government is, so they can pay for all of these funding programs that, oh, by the way, if you're black, it's harder to get on welfare. It's harder to get into the projects. Things of that nature. They want you to take a drug test. Why? Because it's racial profiling. I've lived in the projects 3 times. Never got asked to take a drug test. I could have been shooting up, snorting shit up my fucking nose. Never got asked to take a drug test. But I've had friends that were black that got asked. You need to go take a drug test to get into the projects in Hamilton, Alabama. And even in Solitude, Alabama. So, what the fuck? Are you serious? And in both Hamilton, I lived in 3 different project areas. There's 3 neighborhoods that are projects, and 3 main ones, and then there's like a couple of sub project areas. But I lived in the 3 main ones, because that's where they put the white people with all the good housing and things aren't falling apart. And then if you're black or African in the one, or you're black but you act white. And I hope I'm not offending Larry, okay? Because I love Larry, he's my brother. But if you're black and you act more white, we're going to put you in the good projects. Just the way they do things in Hamilton, Alabama. But our elderly, whether they're black, white, Mexican, Asian, Indonesian, Asian, whatever, they're going to be put in the slums of the projects, which is the stupidest shit ever. Or stupidest shit. Like, my ex-wife, Rachel, her cousin's oldest daughter moved into the projects, and they put her in the slum projects. Like, literally, she could walk from her house and then cross this big ass ditch creek that they put in. They dug it. They dug it to separate scum from the others. So they wanted what the government or the housing authority, what they considered scum of the earth, they wanted to divide away from what they considered better quality people. What? Are you fucking kidding me? No, I'm not. It's true. Go to, oh, what the hell is that? Riverside Drive in Hamilton, Alabama. The projects over there. I can't. They have a special name for them. It used to be called like. It used to be called the. It was called the Black Ghetto in Hamilton, Alabama. It didn't matter what side you lived on. That neighborhood was really, really tough. Is what the rumor was. Total lie. 90% of all the people living in the projects in Hamilton, Alabama, all, like 90% of all the families are white. So getting back to what they did to the black people and the elderly, no matter what their race, or I don't like calling it a race, the word race, your race is human. It's your creed or your ethnicity, which would, your ethnic group, which would then be black, white, purple, or it's not even black and white really. At this point, then it is African, but you don't have to say African American, and European, Asian. In fact, if I was a black person, I would find the term, if I was black or not, and to me it wouldn't matter, so I'm not one of those guys that, oh, Jesus, I'm not, no, that's not, I don't, you want to do that shit, you need to go somewhere. But, so, okay, sorry, put the scissors, I've got two scissors. Pair of scissors over here on the wooden tower. You can't see it. It's over here on this side. Put them on there, and they swing, and I stopped it before I moved. And then I said, we're talking to you, and both of them started swinging. Well, been able to see angels and demons since as far back as I can remember. So I'm thinking to myself, he touched the blue scissors to knock it into the purple scissors after I stopped it, because that's what happens. And then my guardian angel, and his name's Carlos. And guess what, folks? Most angels, or well, 99.9% of all angels, they look, first of all, they're all male, or supposedly non-sexually oriented. But that's why you have the sons of God that came and slept with the men, with the daughters of man, the 200 or 2,000 fallen angels that created them in the hills. But we'll get into that later. So, maybe. So anyway, you got these, I don't know. I just think my mind just went blank too. I was on a good point, and I can't stop and go back. So I'm gonna write down notes, watch this video, and I'll be like, oh yeah, I was saying this, and that's what I need to do. But anyway, I couldn't sleep, so got up. Back to the Caleb story. So Christy, the manager at Walmart, calls Caleb back for that second interview. Caleb's like, playing video games. And no, I made him call. Like I said, I asked him if he called, and he said no. And I'm not going to do it. And he was getting mad. So it's been like 3 or 4 days. And Christy pretty much assured me on a phone call and in person that she would call him back in 2 days. Okay. So, why hadn't you? So I called her, and I asked Christy, I said, Christy, is there a problem with hiring Caleb? And she goes, oh no. I said, oh, okay. She said, I called him 2 days ago and told him that he had an interview yesterday. And he told me, okay, thanks. And I told him what time. What? She goes, and he was going to start immediately after the interview. He was going to come in, sign the job offer sheet, and we were going to start his training. He was going to be here 8 hours, and he was going to make $9.50 an hour. Now, at the time, Walmart had raised their minimum wage to $11 an hour. Oh, I was pissed. And I went in there and I said, Caleb, why didn't you tell me that you had a job interview? This doesn't matter. I don't have a license. I don't have a car. I couldn't go to work. I said, Caleb, I said, you're a dumbass. There's a manager for the Amory Walmart, and she lives right here, next door. I said, I went and told her what was going on. And he goes, she was going to give you a ride there and go pick you up. All you had to do was call her. Well, I didn't have her number. I said, no, that would have been done after you got your job. So that way I could go to work and she could go to work. Well, I don't have the money to pay her. I wouldn't have the money to pay her. And I said, pay her for what? And he goes, the gas. I said, you wouldn't be. It's a crisis. It's COVID. I have almost a $500 rent payment. Well, I didn't ask you to get this apartment. No, but without it, Caleb, it's 2 bedroom. 3 bedroom, sorry. apartment, townhouse. Um, Without it, you and I would be homeless. Oh, actually, we wouldn't be homeless. We'd be living in a Toyota Corolla. And I'm thinking to myself, what the hell? I didn't ask you to move out of Mark's trailer. No. So then, this story has become long and went into other topics, but he got mad because I kept demanding that he go get a job. Took him up to Piggly Wiggly. There's a black manager there. Good friends with him. I can't remember his name. I can see his face. Oh my God, I can see his face. Caleb went in. He gave him an application. I had a clipboard with an ink pen, and I told Caleb to go ahead and fill it out and take it back into him. Oh, okay. So then he fills out this application, puts on there, you can't work Saturday and Sunday, and will not work holidays. Alright, so he put on his application that, I want to say the dude's name was Tyler, but that might not be right. But anyways, Piggly Wiggly or Save More, whatever, in Sullivan. So Caleb put on his application that he couldn't work Saturday, Sunday, or holidays. I went out to the car and I said, go get your application out of the garbage because they threw it away, and cross out the fact that you can't work Saturday, Sunday, and any holiday. Oh, well, I thought I could keep my school time schedule. No, Caleb, this is the real world. If you have to work on a Saturday, Sunday, you have another day off in the week for your job. I said, my job is a factory job and they're closed Saturday and Sunday. If we do work Saturday, we get paid time and a half, and we will never work Sunday because they don't want to pay us triple time. Huh. So he goes in there and gets this application and fixes it. And then I go in a couple of weeks later and I'm talking, and I asked him, I said, hey, you told Caleb, you still hiring? He said, man, he goes, man, John, you a good guy. He goes, I like you, you're a friend. He said, but, he said, after I read what he first put, he goes, I just kept it and filed it. He goes, the boy don't want to work. He don't want a job. I said, I feel you. Now, Caleb worked weekends at Little Caesars. So, why the F a year and a half later, did he figure that he was going to keep the same schedule he had in school, where he was off holidays and didn't work weekends? Now in Alabama, you can refuse to work Sunday because of the Alabama laws, and even here in Mississippi, because of religion. Which, if you ask me, everybody should work Sunday. Our work week should be Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and we have Friday, Saturday off. Friday and Saturday are the weekends. Also, the good book, the one that preaches about Yeshua, who they call Jesus, which his name is translated into English as Joshua, but that's a whole nother topic. Yeshua? Joshua. Where's Jesus? Yoda will explain it later. Saturday arises from the Hebrew Greek um, word Sabbath. The Holy Bible, the book of Genesis, one of the 10 Commandments given to Moses, said, "Thou shalt keep the Sabbath holy." Did you know the 10 Commandments, the law of the Bible, the law of Moses was not, was just not written for the Jews. If you were a Gentile and you believed in the one true God, Yah, not Yaman Ra, not, anything like that, not Zeus, Hercules, all of those sons of bitches, I am Saturn, all of that. So the word Satyr originally derived from Sabbath. 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 They keep the Sabbath day holy. And let me tell you why Christians stopped keeping the Sabbath day, and we thought it was okay. I will show you in a funny skit. I can't do it. Well, I'll just do it right here. Welcome everybody. I am the Pope. Our days of worship will be removed, or will be... Oh, gotta start all over. Hello, welcome everybody. I am the Pope. Our day of worship will be changed to the day of renewal, because Yeshua died on a cross on Good Friday, most evil day in the world, by the way, but they call it the Good Friday, and rose again, did not rise again until Sunday. Sunday is named after Yaman Ra, the sun god. Also, Yaman Ra, if you translate it correctly to English, is Yamin. Amen. That's why when they said in that prayer a few months back, Amen and a woman, I was like, oh my God, Yamin Ra had a sex change. Wow. And did you know that everybody always says, do what Jesus says, right? Or do as Jesus would do. So, first of all, his name is Yeshua. It is not Jesus. In fact, in the original Greek and things of that nature, the term Jesus meant demigod. 50% God, 50% human. That reminds me of Hercules! Funny. Funny as hell. My God, Yeshua. Now they're going to lie to you. Even, hey Google, translate Yeshua to English.
On the website learnreligions.com, they say, it means Yahweh is salvation. The English spelling of Yeshua is Joshua. However, when translated from Hebrew into Greek, in which the New Testament was written, the name Yeshua becomes Iesu. The English spelling for Iesu is Jesus. I found an answer to another question on that topic. Why do we say Jesus instead of Yeshua? Do you want to hear it?
Sure. Yes.
According to Wikipedia.org, Jesus is a masculine given name derived from the name Iesvs in classical Latin, Iesu, the Greek form of the Hebrew and Aramaic name Yeshua or Yeshua. As its roots lie in the name Yeshua, it is etymologically related to another biblical name, Joshua.
That's the first time that he has told me the truth. He admits that Yeshua is correctly translated. I don't know if you heard him or not. Correctly translated into English as Joshua. You want to know why they didn't call him Joshua again in the great book, the big book? King James decided in a royal decree that the current English translation of the Bible was not very easy to follow along in. So he had a bunch of squires and scribes, or whatever you want to call them, sit down and start rewriting the book, rewriting the Bible to make it easier to follow along and read. Basically putting chapters and verses in there, okay? So they get almost all the way through, like, I forget which book, hold on. Hey Google, in which book of the Bible does Jesus talk to the people about Joshua visiting Ruth?
Sorry, I don't have any information about that, but I found something related. Do you want to know where Joshua is first mentioned in the Bible?
No. Alright. Anyway, I'll pull this up because I've read it before. I'm reading this. I apologize. Anyway, yeah, I can't. I'm looking this up, but anyway, there. So the scribes of King James was rewriting the Bible for a better translation from the original Hebrew and Greek text to um, English. Okay. Now, in the Bible, the original English Bible, the one that was written before the King James, they called Jesus Joshua because the Greeks spelled Joshua as Yeshua. And you've got to remember, the letter J didn't exist at the time. Yeshua. That's the Greek name, original Greek name for Yeshua. Yeshua. Started with an I, there was no J. That part is all true. So my name shouldn't be John, it should be Oin, or Ion, I am Ion. No, sorry. But, not in modern days. I mean, this thing is still hurting. That's why I'm putting pressure here on the muscle. But, yeah, so these scribes, the squires, they started, doing, um, seeing the story, and I forget which chapter, and I tried to look it up, that Jesus tells, and I think it might have been the Sermon on the Mount, he tells of a time when Joshua, King Joshua, or maybe soldier Joshua at the time, went to visit Ruth. Okay? You know that Ruth was a female, and she was, if I remember right, a prophet among her sisters. Anyway, it got confusing because suddenly Yeshua was telling a story about Yeshua visiting Ruth. Now, how do you fix that? We got two people with the same name. Legend has it that these squires and scribes decided, oh, we'll pray about it. But it wasn't legend, it's true. So they prayed about it. But the response they got was not from God. They, the thing was, as I read about this, they said there was a massive flame with an angelic, beautiful person with horns on his head in the middle of the room. They were all sleeping by this time. And he stood up, or this man stood out, and he's in a huge flame. And he said, call the Son of God, Jesus, for he is half man, half God. Jesus. Of course, it would be Yeshua, or Jesus, or however you say it, Jesus, the Greek term for Jesus, whatever it is. I-E-S-U-S. I don't know how to pronounce it. Anyways, Jesus. So call him Jesus, because he is a demigod. 50% God and 50% man. You know what? If I remember the story correctly of the conception of the Christ, God came over the woman and used her egg as the host. So what part of her was Jesus? Some people think that God implanted, some theorists believe that God implanted the egg and the sperm and it was all 100% God, which would make absolute sense. But let's say that it was her egg. Remember, Mary's a virgin. Hey Google, what percentage are babies of their father compared to their mother?
Sorry, I don't have any information about that. but I found something related. Do you want to know whether there are more single moms or dads?
No. Hey Google, is it true that all babies are 60 to 75% more?
Sorry, I don't have any information about that, but I found something else. Do you want to know what the highest multiple birth is?
No. Hey Google, is it true that all babies are 75% more their father than mother?
Sorry, I don't understand.
Hey Google, do you speak English?
To change the language I speak, open the Google Home app. At the top right, tap your profile picture or initial, then Assistant Settings, then Languages.
Hey Google, do you understand English?
I understand the majority of English.
Hey Google, translate Spanish to English.
What would you like me to translate?
Chingada de madre.
En inglés se dice,
Your mother.
Hey Google, translate German to English.
What would you like me to translate?
Sprechen Sie Deutsch?
auf Englisch würdest du
Do you speak?
sagen,
Sprechen Sie Deutsch? Sprechen Sie Deutsch? Hey Google, translate German to English.
What would you like me to translate?
Flicken die Deutsch.
In German, you would say,
ouch.
Hey Google, does Sprechen Sie Deutsch not mean do you speak German?
Here's a summary from the website forum.duolingo.com. Sprechen Sie Deutsch means do you speak German with Sie as formal U. There is an informal U and a formal U in German.
Hey Google, translate
What language should I translate to?
Hey Google, translate German to English.
What would you like me to translate?
Flecken sei Deutsch.
In German, that's
Flagge in Deutsch.
Hey Google, translate English to German.
what would you like me to translate?
Fuck the Germans.
In German, that's
Suchen Sie die Deutschen.
Yeah, I'm German. I'm German. I'm Irish, German, American. That's my heritage, my ethnic. Also got Cherokee in it. Hey Google, can you curse?
sorry. I try not to swear.
Hey Google, is there a way to remove your
To delete
bleeping?
our last conversation, just say, "Hey Google, delete my last conversation." To find and delete all your activity, open the Google Home app. At the top right, tap your profile picture or icon, then My Activity. To delete an activity, tap the three-dot menu, then Delete.
I'm having fun. Good. But yeah, so that's what happened. The golden horned, beautiful person, an angel, and he showed up and told him to use the word that meant demigod in Greek. And I will look this up. Oh, wow. There's conflicting information. Wow. Okay. So I just read that there's two websites. One of them said that um, men. It says that they both say that uh, female babies, women, girls, inherit 50% of their DNA from each parent. That's their mom and their dad. However, the men babies, it is said, only inherit 49% from their father and 51% from their mother. However, it has later been revealed that most of our DNA heritage in children is about 57% our father and the other 43% mother. So was Jesus really a demigod? Did he have 50-50? No. Jesus was, sorry, Yeshua, did he have, I mean, he didn't have 50-50. Yeshua was probably 100% God. There was no Mary DNA. She was just the carrier, the host. And the Bible even says this. She was chosen because she was a faithful follower. Not because God was sitting on his throne one day and I'm just sitting there scratching his head and holy shit, Gabriel. Look at that fine ass human being. I'm gonna go down there and tap that ass. It's not, that wasn't what God did, okay? That's not God. God, not like, oh, holy shit. Look at that, Gabriel. I mean, that wasn't, no. I'm gonna go down to earth and tap that ass. It's like the Family Guy now. Oh my God. So, yeah, I mean, that's just hilarious. But I'm about to get off of here. I slept for, let's see, from 11, 12, 1, 2. I slept for about 4 hours. I know I got up at 2 o'clock Central Time. Actually, about 2:11. And I, first of all, I woke up because this thing was actually itching. First day ever. kicked the scar off of it into my sleep. So you know what I did? It wasn't bleeding, ironically, and the scab is here. And I don't know if you can see it or not. But the scab is there in the magnifying glass. Yes, you can see it. It was laying on my chest. Oh shit, it just fell off. And so I got up and I went to the bathroom and I put hydrogen peroxide on it. And at first it didn't, I damped it on there with Kleenex or toilet paper, whatever. I was in the bathroom. So I did that, and then it was like, yeah, I didn't really puss up. So I was like, fuck it. And I poured it on there. And oh my god, it felt so good. And this pus came up. And pus pockets developed all around it. And it was great. So, and I did pop another little thing over here that developed after I did all that shit. And I'm hearing the cats in there to get on the table, and they knock Melody's shit down. My daughter, shit. So I'm gonna go in there and hopefully my daughter's birdhouse and her treasure, her keepsake box isn't broke, and yeah, and they know not to get on the tables, and they are told by me and my brother and my wife and my kids, hey, get off the table, get off the counter, da da da, and then when they think we're not looking or we're not up to get on it anyway. Oh, so to go back to some of the topic from the beginning before I get off here. So I didn't get my $1,200 stimulus or my $4,300 income tax return last year. When I filed that I didn't get my $1,200, my first stimulus check, they called me a liar. The federal government did, and said, "Oh, we sent it for you." When it came to the hold on.
I've been up for 2 whole days thinking what I did. I've been up for 2 whole days thinking what I did to keep you going. Thumbing through the voicemails that you left me, telling me where I went wrong.
Sorry, I saw this profile on Facebook, and it says that they work at my mom's house. That's hilarious. Lord have mercy. I'm trying to find this photo for the Caleb thing to tell you what the IRS told me. Alright. I'm going to keep that screen open.
Dance the night away, live your life and stay young on the floor. Dance the
I don't know where that song came from. Oh, it's this website that was playing in the background. Sorry. Trying to find. I'm sorry, guys. I'm trying to find this. Hold on. All right. Huh.
Let freedom ring. Let freedom ring. Let the white dove sing. Let the whole world know that today is the day of a reckoning.
Hell yeah. What shit? What shit? Hmm. Let freedom be.
Look at what I deal with, guys.
Look at what I deal with, guys.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh.
Look at what I deal with, guys.
Why is it playing?
Look at what I deal with, guys.
So. That's even funnier. Oh, I like that. Sorry. Okay, now, I do believe that this is a good message that, you should not turn your eyes on God. But I don't believe that he's going to care if you share a message that he knows himself is spam on Facebook. Just my opinion. You know what? I don't believe that he's gonna call it going out into the world if we stand here, sit here, whatever, and give the good testimony. I really don't. Now, if we go out, when I say stand here, I mean in our homes, like video. I really don't believe that he's going to count that. If we post videos on YouTube or Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, or something like that, and we talk about God, I don't think that he counts that as going and spreading the good word. I really don't. I think that he wants us to get up every Sunday morning, every Saturday morning, and go and join our fellow Christians.
Sorry, I didn't understand.
No problem, Google. And meet amongst our fellow Christians on the Sabbath, on Saturday, and fellowship with them. Give word. Spread the gospel. Spread the gospel from our group, our congregation, to other people walking by. Let them hear the good word. And you're thinking, oh, well, wait. It's the Sabbath. And you said that even the Gentiles were under Jewish law. Yeah, I did. So if it's the Sabbath, and you're calling it Saturday, you can't work. Really? This is how I know Yeshua might have been, my opinion, Yeshua was an all-loving, all-caring God. But I think that he had heard enough of the Pharisees' bullshit that he had a bit of smartass in him. You can't work on the Sabbath. So Jesus is in the temple on the Sabbath and he's healing the sick. The Pharisees come out and they go, oh, look at the devil. Look at the man. He says he's the Son of God, but he defies the Sabbath day by working. Jesus turns and confronts the Pharisees, and he says to them, he goes, it is a Sabbath day, and you have taken your donkey out on a walk. You and the donkey are walking along the road when the donkey missteps, trips on a rock, and falls down into the ditch. And the Pharisees say, okay. And Yeshua says unto them, he said, but it is the Sabbath day. And they said, okay, yes. And so Yeshua says, at this point, would you not pick your ass up out of the ditch? The Pharisees had no response to Yeshua. the Savior, Joshua. Yes. Just my opinion. Alright, so oh my gosh. I wouldn't give you $13,000. Hell no. Alright. I'll stop fucking around. Alright, so the IRS, going back to the story earlier, the IRS is going to send last year's 4,000 and some odd dollar tax refund and the $1,200 first stimulus to my ex-wife. Now, I will show you my ex-wife. Nothing wrong, right? It's not like, you know, not like she can help it. No, I'm just kidding. So, I'm now going to put her here, okay? Right here beside me. Alright. That's my ex-wife. Now, she is JJ, Melody, Isaiah, and Harmony's mom. So when I called out the IRS about my stimulus, they said, oh. And I called them out about my income tax return. Sorry. They said, oh, well, we have a copy of your court order, and you didn't ask your ex-wife if you could claim this child. So, since she didn't claim him either, we gave her your income tax return. What? I'm sorry. That's Rachel. Not bad looking. Okay. Not the prettiest thing in the world. But not bad looking. No big deal. But unfortunately, yeah. Man, damn, oh damn, I can go so far and flip it, invert it. I didn't know that, baby. But unfortunately, because it was just kind of blew me out of proportion. This person here Is there something I'm missing? Now, stupid. I'll be damned. I didn't even click on add. Okay, so I'm going to show you this here on the screen. So, you won't be able to really see it. The girl to my right, if you look up in the upper camera section there, that is on the left, you'll see what I'm pointing. So, the girl on the right, her name, where my finger is right above, her name is Christy Lynn Hall. Now, when I met her, her name was Christy Lynn Stanford. This is Caleb, my firstborn son. Christy. I met in 2001. Caleb was born in 2002, January 10th of 2002. Right here. This girl, right here, this girl right here, I met in 2007, working at a Burger King in Fulton, Mississippi. How the fuck could she have been Caleb's mama if I didn't know her? Also, in 2002, this girl right here was 13. There's one thing I am not, and that's a pedophile. 2002, 13 years old. This girl right here in 2002, how old was I? Was a year younger than I am. This girl right here, look, Caleb and her resemble. Why? Why do they resemble? Oh, that's right. Caleb, introduce the IRS to your mother. This girl, this girl, yes, she and I met in 2007 when she was 18 and I was 29. We fell in love. We had sex. She got pregnant. We moved in together. And in February of 2008, we got married. Then, after our third child was born, she started acting psychotic, and I was no longer her spouse. And I was her child. And she threw me out every other weekend. But that's for a whole nother complete story. But the IRS, the moral of this whole story, because you see the two girls here on the screen, you see Caleb, and you can see me in this tiny freaking square in between, right? So the IRS informed me that I didn't ask permission of Caleb's mother, right here, to claim the child. And so since she didn't claim him, I didn't ask Rachel, but it was on our divorce record, which they had copies of. They sent her my income tax return. My child earned income credit, which by law, even if I owed back child support, which I do, not my fault, and Rachel knows that it was not my fault. If you have child earned income credit, by federal law now, dumbasses, they cannot take that and give it away to your ex, your spouse, the one that you owe money to for that child support. If the child that you've gotten this child earned income credit from is not said person's child. She's not his mother. Period. Get out of Dodge. What the fuck? Get out of Dodge, man. Get out of Dodge. So basically, last year when the pandemic started and I had COVID, I had to go to Tylenol. The government's like, fuck you, Mr. Riley, are going to send Rachel, the non-parent of Caleb, the child earned income credit, and the whole $4,733 because you didn't ask her permission to claim her unbiological child. This guy right here. Now, this girl right here is named Christy Lynn Stanford, or Hall. She had no custody of Caleb. Caleb was in the custody of my mama. But my mom is on disability, so she don't file taxes. So she told me, go ahead and claim Caleb. You know what? Great. That'll help me get child and income credit. So based on, because of the fact that I was basically here in Carrollton until March, and then shortly thereafter, Caleb, when I moved back to Sullivan, Caleb basically came and stayed with me the whole year. So there was a few months where he was here in Carrollton trying to finish school. But and then this woman here decided, because as you can see at the time that Caleb and I lived in Sullivan together, she worked for the company on her insured, Lincoln Heritage Life Insurance Company. It was also around that time that her drunk, who is 33 or 32, but looks 60 because he's an alcoholic, decided to text me dirty comments and things about my kids, about her, and about, and then sent me, and I showed them to her, and then sent me nudie photos, or semi-nudie photos of her. But somehow but he convinced her, before he told the truth, that he convinced her that I'm working on her computer. He convinced her that, oh, well, by having your computer and logging onto your account, he hacked mine. If I was able to even log into Rachel's account, which, by the way, I admitted to her that I did try to log into it, but it told me that the password had been changed 8 months ago. All I knew was the 2 passwords that we used frequently. It was changed, so I didn't think about it. I don't know. So, and I told her, I said, really? So, you're going to believe in alcoholic's logic that I log into Facebook on your account and hacked into his? So one night when my friend Stephanie is over at my house and we're talking and getting ready to watch a movie and things like this, Rachel gets on Messenger. This was in October. And Rachel gets on Messenger and starts just basically handing me a load of shit. So I called her. I called her on my cell phone. I get hung up on. She finally answers. We have a conversation. I think everything's cool. The next thing I know, she's unloading more bullshit on me. I'm like, what the fuck? So then, I'm like, okay. Alright, I'll figure this out. And so I get mad because she starts saying things and I take offense. I was like, whoa, wait. You can't log into somebody else's account and hack another person. It's just not possible. And I said, first of all, you know that I'm a hardware computer guy. I'm not a software or programmer. And you've got to have some programming skills to hack. Mainly, you got to know PHP. You know what PHP looks like to me? Or you've got to know HTML, or Java, or other certain program, Perl. I know the languages. I know what they're called. You got to know C++, C, Pascal. You got to know a programming language, basically a web-based programming language. So I would say Java, Perl, PHP, HTML. The others, the BASIC and Pascal and C and C++ or C Sharp are more program oriented. And when I say program oriented, I mean non-online program oriented. So she informs me, and, starts this bullshit. So then she gets mad at me because I basically proved myself right, and she's just like my mother when it comes to this. Now, don't get me wrong, Rachel and I get along. But when I prove myself right, or I defend myself, and this is what happened towards the end of our marriage, when I prove myself right or prove her wrong, whoop. If I was in person, she would have told me to get out. She was going to call the police. But I was on the phone. She hung up. Okay. So I called her back and told that my number was blocked from reaching out to this number. So I get on my house phone. And then, suddenly, her alcoholic answers the phone. Answers her phone. And I said, yeah, I need to speak with Rachel, please. And he goes, oh, I'm sorry, she went to bed. And I said, well, you're a liar. I said, she's also blocked my number. I said, so therefore, if she doesn't unblock my number, I'm going to file a complaint in the court and I will get custody of the kids tomorrow. If she does not talk to me, because that's one of the things we were talking about, was some visitation stuff. It was supposed to happen in the next 24 hours. I said, so if she doesn't talk to me and finish setting this up, I'm going to file a complaint in the court. I'm going to have custody of the kids. Whatever, right? Great. So, then he starts going off, and I was like, shut up. I said, everybody knows that you can't, I said, that you sent those messages, the dirty pictures, because I didn't have access to them. They weren't on Rachel's computer. I said, even if they were, I wiped them out. I said, but you can tell, obviously, that they were sent from a cell phone. How do I know? Because a couple of them had the cell phone in the picture, because it was a reflection. I said, so kiss my ass. I said, you're not a computer tech. You don't know nothing about a computer tech. I said, to me, there's a difference between a computer technician and a computer programmer. A computer tech does the hardware side. He may know how to get software running, like installing it, setting it up so that other people can use it. But beyond that, he can't code it. That's what the programmer does. That's software. That's taking something in your brain, sitting down on the keyboard, and creating something out of nothing. Magic. Oh wait, do you think that's what y'all did? Sat down on the keyboard and started programming life, and he created something out of nothing. I mean, look at Will Wright. He created The Sims, The Sims 2, The Sims 3, The Sims 4. He created SimCity. Created all kinds of simulation games. The most popular two out of that whole group of things that I listed is Sims 2 and Sims 4. Because Will Wright and the Maxis team was involved. Now, Will Wright created Sims 1, but it's like taking a paper mache doll and putting clothes on it and then having it live in a paper mache house. It's alright. It's got some 3D-ish graphics. But yeah. So he then informs me just how he did it. And the whole time my friend Stephanie was like, so he confesses and says, hey, I got on Facebook, I made a fake account, used a different device, his own words, because he kept lying to me, because she was sitting there on the couch beside him at his home or in his bed or what the have you, or he was at her house in her bed, which, by the way, was a violation of a court order. So, what's he do? He confesses that he made an old account, he made a false account, that he has it on another device, and then he said, and then I sent you the messages. I sent you all 3 of them. Now, the third message I told Rachel about, but I said I'm not going to send it because it's derogatory. All 3 of those messages, a gal that I worked with at Marion Molding named Janice, or Nisi, is her nickname, and I called her Mama. She's only about 10 years older than I am, but we were real good friends, and I was good friends with I'm good friends with her husband, Tommy. But when I got the third text messages, now I were working in the plant in Marion Molding or Clayton Home Supply of Winfield. So I get the text, I heard bling. I'm sitting there working, and I'm not supposed to take out the cell phone, but I did. And I went, oh my fucking God. Put my phone back. And Nisi comes over and she goes, what, that boy? I said, he ain't boy, he's a fucking pussy. I said, he won't face me in person, even though he's supposedly 6 foot tall, but he ain't. There's a picture of John, and his name is John Lehman. So there's a picture of Alcoholic and my ex-wife together. I'm not going to show it to you, but I've got it. And I've got it in case he ever hurts my kids, which, as stupid as he is, he probably will. Also, I've had premonitional dreams about stuff that's gone on in her life and in my life. And pretty much 90% of that so far has come to pass and be true. That's another reason why my wife don't like me. She claimed that he was the alcoholic, and I'm going to keep calling him alcoholic. I was going to call him something else, but I decided to be nice. And I'm also telling the truth. He's an alcoholic. Well, I think he might have given up drinking alcoholic, and he's also a pothead, or he was, because Rachel over here, my ex-wife, she tried to turn right after I got evicted from my apartment for not being able to pay rent in 2020. Thank you, Caleb, for not getting a job, and what happened to my son is unfortunate. That he was then murdered by a woman about Christy and I's age. She had children the same age as, or had a son the same age as Christy's oldest child, Gabriel, who is like 20, let's see, 21? Yeah. So, she's the one that killed him in a 30, 35 mile an hour with signs in the fucking, and she didn't get charged. I read the police report. She had no insurance. I think her tag was expired. She was texting and driving. It says this all in the police report. And she hit a child. This child, my at the time 18-year-old, Caleb. So she hit him. That girl killed him. The police, Lee County. Oh, I love you, Lee County police officers. All you fuckers need to be fired and charged with his murder. Charged with Caleb's murder. You let her walk. You slapped her on the wrist and said, slow down. And let her go. You didn't write her a ticket for no insurance. You didn't arrest her, which is standard procedure. If you hit somebody, to hold in case they don't make it. You just said, just don't make a habit of it. You can go on. Go on home. Don't charge her nothing. The black girl that was at the Dollar General as a manager, she said she was outside smoking a cigarette. And Caleb had, I wasn't there all the time because he was trying to decide whether or not to move back in with me. But he found out that my mom was coming and decided that he was not going to come for Memorial Day weekend and spend the week with me like normal. And one of the reasons why he was trying to decide whether or not to stay with me or to stay with his mom is because he had gotten into Job Corps. I just reminded him that, hey, anyway, I reminded him of some things. And he's like, oh, yeah. But anyway, so that was the drama. And then they turned around and did the same shit with the stimulus check. Because I claimed Caleb without Rachel's, they took my stimulus check. I claimed him without Rachel's permission. She will tell you I'm not his biological mother. This girl will tell you I'm not Caleb's biological mother. But the story going back to alcoholic and the whole hacking thing, I think it's funny. He admitted it with my friend Stephanie standing there in my kitchen and slash what was the dining room but became the computer room in my apartment. And then lied to me and told me that Rachel was asleep and she was snoring. And I said, first of all, dumbass. When he told me that, I said, first of all, dumbass, you don't snore unless you have sleep issues, like sleep apnea, or you're scared of something while you're sleeping, or you are really extremely tired, and because of that, you're having, again, breathing issues for the day. I said, so don't lie to me, because I know she don't have sleep apnea. I have sleep apnea. I said, and don't tell me she's snoring, because if she's snoring, I would hear her. He's a dumb fuck. He thought he was going to get away with it. I'm thinking to myself, you dumbass. You, at the time, he'd known her since March of 2020. Now, she'll say, oh no, we didn't start seeing each other until June, whatever. June 12th or whatever, July 12th or whatever. But he texted her while we were lying in bed together one night. And I asked her who it was. And she was half asleep, and she looks over and she goes, oh, that's just John. The guy that I talked to you and told you about, that I told him about our problems. I said, oh, okay. I said, well, can I snap a picture of you and I together? Now, she was under a cover and a blanket, and I was under the cover and under the blanket, and I was fully clothed. But it didn't matter, because the cover would have made it. And, but she said, oh, I don't care. I said, okay, great. Well, I didn't do it. I should have. And then I should have sent it to my phone. But I was like, nah, you know what, it's none of my business. But that's what none of my business got me. The woman told me and by the way, I was living with her. I moved back in Mother's Day, March 12th of 2019. So we had been, so I may be getting the year wrong on when she met him. Yeah, she met him in May of 2019. So 2 years ago, yeah. Right. But so then, she tries to tell me that she didn't know John until July. Yeah, it was July, because I'd taken a job working for Eddie, the construction guy, on July 8th. And so every morning I would come out of Rachel's house, help, I'd drive over there. I got kicked out of her house. She told me I needed to immediately find a place of my own. Because she didn't think it was going to work out. Why? Because we were the perfect couple then. Like there was nothing going on. She accepted the fact, after being married to me for 11 years, and I've been smoking since I was 14, she accepted the fact that, hey, my husband smokes. Well, my ex-husband. I accepted the fact that she has Alzheimer's, because she'll tell you one thing one moment, and then when you ask her about it later, just to make sure A or N's going on, she'll tell you, well, I never said that. Or she'll tell you. And she's got a little bit of dementia or delusion. Or you might be sitting somewhere and she come in and be like, well, hey, blah, 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 blah. I'll be like, oh, I'm sorry, you didn't tell me about that. Yeah, I did. When? Look, yesterday or 20 minutes ago. Dude. When did you tell me that yesterday? Oh, when we were in such and such talking. Okay, yeah, we were in the kitchen talking and we were doing laundry. Those fucking words, that event never came the fuck out your mouth. Don't lie. You never said anything about, well, yes, I did. Okay. And don't get me wrong, I mean, she's a good person. I get along with her. But just, you gotta look over the BS, okay? It's crazy. Alright, let's get her off nice green. So that was my problem with the IRS and things, and I touched bases a little bit. I lose thought a lot. With, you know, being with the IRS and the backstory to what happened between me and my ex-wife. And I couldn't ask for a better wife. My current wife. And her name is Christy. And her name is Christy Ann Riley. So, my thing is, with her, she's like, if you can't tell, she's 5 years older than me. And she's just a sweetheart, perfect in every way. We don't fight about things like Rachel and I used to fight, my ex-wife. Rachel and I would fight if I had about $5-6 extra dollars, and I went down and bought 2 packs of this red just to have cigarettes while they were $2.75 a pack. Normally I knew the guy Vic. He would give me the 2 packs, take the $5, and tell me, don't worry about it. Little Indonesian guy. In fact, I worked for Nick, but his dad, Jack, I keep saying Nick, Vic. His dad, Jack, didn't pay shit. You know, work yesterday, so I know today. What the fuck, motherfucker? I got 8 hours. You know here on the time? No, dude. Vic called me. I can't pay you for that day until I talk to Vic. Well, where's Vic? He in Europe. He'll be back next Monday. Or he went to West Virginia, or he went to Arkansas, or wherever. What? And then an hour later, I'd come in, and Vic and Jack would be standing there in the store, and I was like, hey, and that's a quick trip over to many times. I said, damn, Jack, Vic sure made a quick trip over to Europe and back. Motherfucker. What? I said, you didn't pay me for yesterday. Vic goes, why didn't you pay him? Because he's not down on pay. He didn't work. Oh, yeah, he did. Vic's like, yeah, he did. He helped me get through lunch. 8 hours. He even cleaned up. He even ran a couple of pizza orders. Delivered. Oh, well, he made money tips. No. Even if he did, you have to pay him. That's the... Vic would tell his dad, Jack, you have to pay him no matter what. He told him we'd give him $7.25 an hour, whether he made $600 in tips. He said, if he was doing that, I want to know what the fuck you're doing for that tip money. He said, but even if he did, even if it all did, you have to pay him. That's the law. Oh, I don't know. Looks like, tell you what, John, come back and I'll pay you. When do I come back, Vic? Probably about 6:30. Okay. And then he would pay me. And go in there in the book and add the extra day on to the book. Because Jack paid under the counter. They still paid minimum wage. He just didn't pay taxes. And then about 3 weeks went by, and I was making good money. And all of a sudden, my hours get cut to, you only come when I need you. Okay. Now, you know why that happened? Was because they hired this little cute red-headed chick. And I didn't know it. I've been working mornings, helping out with them on the mornings. And I come in that night, one night, and I went to the store, and Vic was back there, and they were doing something, and so Vic looks at me, and he goes, hey, he goes, I'll give you whatever you want. Help me get pizzas caught up. And I was like, for real? And he goes, yes, man, I got like 6 or 7 orders. And he said, and you don't do the salads, do you? I said, no, I don't know how to do that. And he goes, okay. He goes, I'll do the salads. I've got 6 or 7 orders. I can't really train the new girl and do the pizzas and everything else. And they keep calling. Okay. So, and they wanted the breadsticks, Mr. Gene's breadsticks. Because Mr. Gene was a restaurant down the street, and Vic went and talked to Mr. Gene's wife after people kept saying to Vic, hey, you make breadsticks, but they're not like Mr. Gene's that we used to have here in Sulligent down at the restaurant. And I was, okay. So Vic, being an entrepreneur, decides, hey, I'm going to reach out to this fella, his wife, or whatever, and see how we can get the recipe. So he gets a hold of Mrs. Jean, and he buys the recipe from her, and she makes him promise not to give it out. Okay, cool, no problem. So he starts making Mr. Gene's breadsticks, and the people love them, so they're going to order them out. So he had orders of breadsticks. He had pizza orders. He had it coming out crazy like. And I just happened to notice the red-headed female. And I happened to notice that I am 5'5". Well, 5'4" and 3/4", and she came right. I could rest my head. I could rest my chin on her head. And she had curly red hair. She was fine as fuck. And I was watching her, and I was doing the pizzas. And pizza takes 10-15 minutes. I put a couple pizzas in. You can only put 2 in the oven at the same time, and it's one of those rolling ovens, right? And I would tell her, hey, if I'm not back in here, let Vic know, and he'll tell me. She goes, okay. I said, Vic, is it alright if I go, yeah, go have a cigarette. You can't do anything. You can't put another pizza in there. Because even if you waited till the pizza got like midway to where you could fit another pizza on one of the racks, the top or the bottom, it would cook the first pizza, and the second pizza would scroll through without getting warmed at all. So their way of fixing that was to just do one at a time. It took 12 minutes, and then you would mark it. You would always tell the customer it's going to take about 15 to 18 minutes. So you have time to make up the box, blah, blah, blah. So I showed this goddess. I'm married to Christine. I love her with all my heart. But if I ran into this goddess today, so I showed this goddess how to make up the pizza boxes, which is the same box we use for breadsticks. Okay? Oh, okay. I mean, she took to it like that. So, showed her. It was good. And, Vic came, so when everything was caught up and he comes to me, he goes, hey, he goes, what do you want? I said, first of all, I said, I've got a bill to pay tomorrow, it's $50. And he said, okay. I said, and I'm out of cigarettes and gas. Put $20 in gas, grab 2 boxes of cigarettes, and bring me your bill, and I'll pay it in the morning, because he said in the morning I have to go to town and pay it. I said, okay. And so he goes, where do you live? Do you live over by your ex-wife? And I said, no. I live around the corner in the projects. And I said, no. I live in the Amberwood apartments. And he goes, oh, you live in Wolf Run. And I said, no, there's Amberwood Villa, and then there's Wolf Run. Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, those 2 townhouse properties right there together. Yes. Okay, no problem. I said, no problem. I'll bring you by the receipt in the morning. Okay. Great. I said, but I'll be here in the morning, Vic. Oh, yeah. Well, I'll come back. I said, but don't tell Jack. I said, okay. Because Vic was running the town about 7, 8 o'clock. Jack and his wife didn't get in until about 9. Then they tried to stay all damn day. They would be like, they'd come in and we'd be busy. And they'd tell me, oh, Jack would be like, I'm here, John, wash the dishes, go home. But anyway, so back to the story. Vic doesn't smoke. Okay? So we go outside, we have a cigarette. I go pull up to the pub, put $20 in. He's talking to me, hey, do you have the bill here? I said, no, it's on the counter. Okay, well, go get it. I said, okay. I bring it in. I go get it, and I bring it in. And I got the 2 or 3 packs of this brand of cigarettes. And so the thing is, I bring in the bill, and I go to Vic, give it to him, and he says, I got you, man. I promise you. I said, okay. And then I looked over at the redhead chick, and I was like, hey, by the way, grabbed one of the pizza order, the notebook, pizza ordering notebooks, or grabbed the clean one, put my name, put the address and my phone number on it, and I said, hey, call me sometime. We could really hang out together. I said, you're beautiful. I said, you're really funny, and you're really attractive. I'm single, and not married. I wasn't, and I don't see no ring on your finger, so I'm just going to assume, and if I'm wrong, and you are with someone, then tell me. She goes, oh, no, I'm not. I said, okay. So, the next morning, I go to work. Vic doesn't show up, and Jack is there early, like 7:30. Oh, hey John, I need you to go home and get cleaned up. He goes, I'm going to be here for help with breakfast. Oh yeah. I said, okay. So I did. He goes, and you will only work now if I call you. I said, oh, okay, cool, because I had another job anyway. I was working at Marion and by that stuff. I'm like, all right, cool. And he was like, goodbye. And I'm like, okay, bye. Shoot. So I went in a couple nights later and I asked the girl, I said, so, I asked the other girl, cashier, and she was the night manager, said, what happened to Curly Q Redhead? I said, I ain't seen her in a couple of nights, and usually we work, pretty much 7 days a week. Maybe off on a Sunday or a Monday. And she goes, oh. She told Vic after I left that I seemed really determined to get a yes from her. But basically I was too pushy on trying to get a relationship. I mean, I barely said, hey, I told her again, my name is John. Here's my phone number. Here's the address. Since you already know that I live over in Amberwood, if you're ever in the neighborhood, you need somebody to talk to. Because I obviously can see there's no ring on your fingers, and there's no ring on mine, which there wasn't at the time. Now I'm married. And she was all like giggly. Oh, okay, cool. I would love that. She put my phone number in her pocket, and then told Vic after I left that I was scared. Basically, too pushy. So Jack went to, and what's funny is the manager chick was there that night with us, with Vic, me, and the redhead chick. As I was catching things up, she was running the register, and the redhead chick was trying to learn from her and from me. So, when I came in and she wasn't there, there was only the manager chick. I said, damn. I said, they didn't call me. I call you if I need you from now on. Okay. So they didn't call me tonight, so you're down. Be here until 11 or 12 to close. And she goes, yeah, by myself. I said, damn. That's fucked up. And she goes, yeah, it is. I said, what happened to the redheaded girl? She goes, she still works here. But her boyfriend is very controlling. And I guess he found your letter and got mad and told her that she couldn't come in if he wasn't off. And she went and told Jack. Because he wanted me pointed out. Hey, go beat the hell out of me. Ugh. I said, really? And she goes, oh yeah. Never happened. Never happened. I hope that girl got smart and got the hell away from her. Yeah, I really do. But they said, the blonde chick, I can't remember her name, she said that he was very, very good. Of her. She wasn't his equal. She was his So I'm assuming there's probably abuse in that relationship, and it's not my case to change. Anyway, guys, I'm going to end the stream since we've been on here for 4 hours now. I'm getting a little bit tired. I slept for like 3 hours and sweated so much from 11 to 10, whatever. It was 4 hours. And now I'm tired again. So, anyway, you all take care, and I'll see you on the flip side. Bye now.